pinch economically, right?
Yeah.
Of the lockdowns and the shutdowns and the lack of movement and these things and so. Do you rather be going to like a 4-year period where there is periodic lockdowns, changes in protocols all the time, XYZ, 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 right?
Oh.
Or would you take 6 months, the entire world lockdown, kill out the disease, and then move forward with our life?
Listen, I thought that was the plan. I thought that was the first plan, you know?
That cannot be the plan. When
No, I thought that was the first plan. I thought, like, that would have been the international plan for everybody.
Hold on there, Kevon. 1 second, let me get you in here.
I literally thought that would have been the plan for everybody, but no.
Kevon,
Yes.
I'm happy to see you.
We as
Me
well.
too.
Yeah, you happy to see you too? Nice.
Yeah, because I was only me. I could see.
But you were saying, Jade, what you thought the plan was?
I honestly thought, right, like the whole world would have been like, you know what, let me just stop for real, and get ourselves to get it together, and then come back stronger than ever. But there was like, nah.
And this is the thing, and at the time, right? I can't remember when I started thinking, like perhaps the best thing is okay. Remember when I would come in here and I would cuss about the fact that we need to look at this like an invasion.
It is an invasion.
And we need the world to coordinate a response.
Yeah.
Because this thing attacking the entire world.
Uh-huh.
And to me, if the issue is the virus needs people, and it spreads when people move in the entire world, when people move and move and move and move, then perhaps the world just needs to stop moving.
Perhaps.
Which, again, prior to November, prior to January 2020, this thought would have been insane.
Insane.
But now I don't know.
Listen, I don't know.
Some places didn't close down at all.
Happy for them.
Some places didn't lock down. Some
And
places
then
didn't
some
have
places are back to lockdowns. Like China is back to a full-blown lockdown.
You think? Like this is
They
the
got a festival and said to celebrate. Now they're back lockdown.
the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing
Doing the
over
same
and over
thing,
and expecting different results.
expecting different
That is
results.
all
Yep.
we've been doing the entire time. The entire
The
world.
same thing.
The whole world been doing it.
And over and over.
When we
And
had
the thing is too, the thing that makes it worse is that the whole world has been doing it at different points.
Exactly.
Nobody's doing it at the same time.
Nobody-
If we did it at the same time, then maybe we would have gotten different results. But if I do it this week, you do it next year, this person do it next month, what's the point?
And now we're doing things like giving people these false impressions. I tell her, when
They just all like, wherever your next started. Anyway.
no, what I'm saying is, remember when I kept saying the vaccine cannot be touted as the silver bullet.
Yes.
It has to be
It's
a
impossible.
step in the right direction. It can't be the thing that teleports us to the next.
Did they listen?
To normalcy.
Right.
Did they listen? Did they listen to that? Did they listen when we said stop doing
But
that?
Jade,
No.
nobody been listening. Nobody been listening from nobody been listening. And part of the thing is, right, and I understand this is new, right? So we're learning as we go along, right? But there's a few things that we knew. We knew this thing passed between people. We knew then that if people stop moving, the virus stop moving, right? Stop moving.
No.
No, I'm outside. My rights. Blah, blah, blah. So you know what's going to happen now? More and more businesses are going to close. 'Cause every time there's a lockdown, more and more businesses are going to suffer. More and more businesses are going to close down. More and more people are going to be out of work. More and more people.
And I think that's
And while they're going on, because this thing keep having the chance
to evolve.
to evolve, more and more variants going to come.
Just getting more and more difficult to do what we should have done in the first place.
Again, if this is the end of the world, just tell us now.
If this is the end of the world, let me know so I don't have to pay bills.
Like, yeah,
next
making me
month.
pay bills for no reason, I feel like you're making me pay bills for no reason.
Like, let me, if this is what's happening, let me go with a bang.
I know, like, let me drink like a bottle of Prosecco, eat some Babsy's wings. Like,
Wait there, you're talking about Kevon nightly routine.
This is.
Well, for me,
The only reason there's not a bottle in front of me is because I'm on the air, which is why it's next to me.
That is why he's a Prosecco king. Like, his norm is our extravaganza.
I could never.
Prosecco papi.
I'm tired.
Me
We're talking
too.
about COVID. So let's talk about something else that's COVID related.
So we're going to talk about the Delta variant.
No.
We must.
Where must? It's gonna happen anyway, you know. So we're gonna talk about it then. When we get Delta
Anyway,
plus minus.
Okay, hold on. But basically, what we're taking away from all the information that we're seeing is people wear a mask,
Yes.
sanitize. Yeah,
Yeah. Please.
please.
That's all. Wear a mask because clearly, anyway. Which chaotic event y'all want to talk about first?
From Jade's picks?
From whoever picked them.
Apparently, there was a lot of things happening yesterday that I won't privy to. So Jade is supposed to enlighten us.
People are pissed. People are pissed
Jade,
about
enlighten us.
a couple of things. Well, two things basically. I feel like people are pissed about. One, the handling of the protest yesterday.
The handling of the protest.
Yeah, not the protest itself, the handling of the protest.
Mm-hmm,
What the powers
yeah.
that be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And two, the thought of them putting, I think they said it would be temporary, I'm not sure, but the thought of them putting the bus stop in Bastille High.
Okay.
Yeah. These two things have caused mass chaos in the country, as many things do.
And that is why I don't think it's mass chaos, but that's a different thing. I think
Well,
it's
mass
just
chaos among a few.
it's not mass, but okay.
Okay, let me remove the word mass. Chaos among a few.
The same set of people who always hype on Facebook about everything. That's really what it
Right,
is.
but you see,
And it's and not like
Basically.
people going along their lives. But anyway, continue.
the hype brings out a lot of stories that I don't remember happening, but it's because I was too young to be paying attention.
Happening, you know.
So it's very interesting to listen to different shows in St. Kitts because when you listen to these different shows, you hear these perspectives of different people and the stories that you may not remember or you remember but you just don't think about on a daily basis. So let's start with which one? Let's start with the mini protest.
Call it a protest.
Yeah, because because when I watched the video, I saw other people.
Let's call it I will call it a demonstration.
Yes, yeah. Let's say not say protest. Let's say a demonstration. I feel like that's a better word for it. For real.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that people should be able to demonstrate safely because it's within their rights. I looked at the video yesterday. I saw a lot of people like they were distancing, they had on the mask and all these things. So
Do you think they should have, because we're in a state of emergency, then ask for the permission to do so?
I think you should have also asked for the permission because we all know that currently the police are allowed to do certain things.
Let me ask you a question before you continue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, and of course, there's a difference here between the examples I'm going to bring. So I don't expect same levels of outrage.
Okay.
But
Lord, what are you calling? When even?
and the reason why I'm bringing up this is because it's coming to the time when I feel I have to bring it up again.
Okay.
The big hoopla over like the church videos that went out.
That happened.
Right?
Anyway, continue. Sorry. Sorry.
But people's reaction to that seemed to be one thing. Right? Did you sense those same concerns and so in regards to the protest or the demonstration?
No, I didn't. And I think it's because with the demonstration, as I said, they were actually following the protocol. Like there wasn't.
They weren't though.
No, I literally looked at the videos.
The protocol says you have to apply.
Okay, well, they were following the
protocol say
there was following majority of the protocol. No, forget that one. I forget. You see, when I said when I said protocols, I was thinking about the social distancing and the masking.
But you remember when we went yesterday, they were saying that was their focus about the protest, that nobody applied.
Yeah,
nobody...
that's true.
So you're saying that they didn't do the most important step.
That is true. I forgot about that one. Okay,
But
see,
that's the main thing.
and that's fine. Like, okay, my issue isn't that they stopped them from demonstrating, because again, they said that they didn't apply, and in the state of emergency and the SRO and all these things, they say you need to apply for these things because, yeah. But like, time and time again, we come out here, right, and we talk about the escalation. Who does we talking to?
Ourselves.
It have to be. At this point, I feel like we just be talking to ourselves. Because it can't be the people who are actually supposed to be doing it. It cannot be.
The only issue I'm having with this is that I'm looking at the situation, right? When you have people that are in a disgruntled, they have a disgruntled energy, and the nature of what they're doing is to be combative. How does one then, let's for instance, for want of a better term, break it up in a way that is non-combative?
Firstly, I don't think you start by pulling papers out of people's hands with words on them. They didn't throw
I'm asking. No, I'm totally agreeing with you. My problem is that I can't make a suggestion.
Oh, how do we deal with this without being combative?
See, that's my issue. It's not that I agree with what was done. Mm-hmm. My problem is I like to offer solutions. I don't know what the solution would be. Because to me, anything else means just not doing your job.
So you think if you ask them to leave or to this person in a nice way, they won't do it?
Hey guys, sorry you guys didn't have the passes.
You can't do this today.
So you want to tell me that was not said at all? People just
I'm just going based on the videos. Somebody who was there calling, did they ask y'all nicely to move and y'all didn't study them? Was it that? If that was the case, y'all wrong.
I find it very difficult. Not only that, Jade. Before they gathered, they told them don't do it. So that's the thing, Jade. Like they said, hey guys, by the way, we heard that some people have been planning something. There has not been any and okay, that's one issue I have with it, right? Mm-hmm. The second issue I have with it is one of the things that undermines the position a lot of times in these things, and this is a Sinkits thing, is this lack of coordination among, let me say, the different what you should call it, the different messaging, mm-hmm. right? So I'm looking at some of the videos, and I really didn't look at a lot of them, but I'm looking at some of the videos, and even within the videos, I'm hearing people with different sets of messagings. Mm. So up to now, I cannot tell you what the message of the protest was. Well, because there seem to be different messages, some of them that were contradicting each other.
Well,
so it seemed as though it was just like, if you got a grape, come.
I just about to say. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was like,
something bothering you, just come.
And my problem with that is, some of these things are legitimate concerns.
Yeah.
But then when it's not, when it comes across this way, then it undermines it dulls down the potency of the message. Because the message, you don't even know what the message is.
What did I tell you yesterday?
What you said.
But the thing is too with these kind of things is that people, like Azem is saying, basically, is people show up to these things not knowing what they're actually showing up for. They just know that we're upset about something, don't know what exactly, but let's show up and let's be upset. And then you have people there and they just find something to be upset about, and it's like, so like there's 7 different things going on here, and then
for instance, there's some people who are talking about there's some people who are talking about mandatory vaccination, right? Which seem to be like they don't believe that the vaccine should be mandatory. There's some people who are basically speaking on the fact that we shouldn't be taking the vaccines because the vaccine's killing people. There are some people who are like, so like there's all sorts of messaging going on at the same time.
I think one of my issues was the misinformation. Like, I literally heard somebody say the vaccine has killed millions of people, not the disease. And I'm like, what? What? Keep in mind, again, like, if y'all have a issue, it is your right to voice the issue. But let's voice the issue with facts, because then now you're going to be not taking as serious as you want to be taken, because first thing they're going to say is that your gripe isn't credible because the facts that you present aren't credible. And that is going to undermine what you are trying to do.
The sad part about it is that the people who, I do not believe there were a lot of people there who were demonstrating who were there for any disingenuous thing. They literally feel like this is what it is.
Okay, that's fine.
So no, I'm saying in their world, the things that they were saying were facts.
Oh.
I don't believe there were people there who was like, which are you undermining the government? And no, people have genuine concerns about the things that they were demonstrating about.
I understand that fully, but that doesn't mean your concerns have facts.
They were pushing their facts. That's what I'm saying. In their world, those are facts.
Isn't that dangerous?
There we go. There we go.
Jade,
there we go. Jade.
For the win.
Jade. Ding, 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 ding.
Like, I feel like that's very dangerous. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was one of the things that pissed off people yesterday. And
so what's your suggestion for future demonstrations?
Get permission first. If they keep denying you permission, okay, that's a different thing.
There we go.
Because if they deny you permission, and now that's like willfully trying to deny your rights.
Bear in mind that we are under state of emergency, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not you agree,
just so we know.
Whether or not you agree with, do we need to be or not be? We are with this. Yeah, that's what
that
it is.
Not the issue. Whether you agree or not is not the issue at this point. We cannot do anything about it because we could talk. Like we have I feel like, and Azem, you did say it. I feel like we don't realize that a lot of talking don't do nothing. Like we talk about things, we abuse about things on Facebook, and literally nothing happens.
See, and don't get me wrong, talking is important.
It is very
Communication
important.
is important, and it could also be effective.
Mm-hmm.
But one must have a plan. One must have a goal. So, for instance, like I keep telling people, I do not know what the goal of the demonstration protest was yesterday. I don't know. Perhaps the organizers know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to assume that my definition of success is their definition of success, because the truth is my definition of success doesn't matter in this case.
See?
However, people always go and talk about, marching makes no sense. That is not true. Marching, protest, those things are important. However, it must be part of a bigger plan. If it's not, then it's a waste. So, for instance, what generally happens when you have these types of demonstrations is to, one, galvanize support for the position that you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's also meant to demonstrate a level of support for whatever the issue is you have, right? And it also is supposed to then lead to some type of dialogue with the persons that you're demonstrating against, because other than that, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So bear in mind, for me, I don't know if those things are going to come out of this.
I hope so.
I don't. You know why I don't?
Hope so?
No. Because what was the messaging?
That's why I said I feel like we need to. Anyway.
And that's what I was saying yesterday. Like,
I think I think this is their first time. I don't think the people that we saw demonstrating are people that usually do these type of things, but
that's not how we go. We don't have professional demonstrators.
Yeah,
when we have movements, Jade, movements are successful based a lot, not only just on support, but organization.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Organization. The problem I'm having is that you need, because of the differences in opinions across this topic, which is, let's just say the COVID-19 pandemic and its handling.
Yeah.
Whether it is about lockdowns, boom, 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 economics, boom, 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 whether it is even the vaccines in particular. There are so many different views, and to your point, so many different sets of information that's driving people's position in so many different directions, that how does one even begin to have a conversation around it? If we can't even agree on the facts, it must be fact. Like you're saying, we only could come to have a conversation about it if we're able to agree on what the facts are. We could have different opinions based on the facts, and then we could have a discussion there. But people can't even agree on the facts.
Yeah, that's why. But I feel like it's time to hear from some callers. Yeah, let's have some people join the conversation.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island TV. What's up?
Yes, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. When I log on,
Good morning, my
I didn't
friend.
feel- I felt like I wanted to cry.
I have no fear for it.
Anyway, sometimes somebody just have to be a Daniel. Like the word said, dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose, and dare to make it known. Somebody just have to be that Daniel, even if you have to stand by yourself. So maybe we may look at these people and their protest and say, well, what was their purpose? Obviously, they had a purpose. They had a reason.
Was it that obvious?
Well, they had the placards. At least they were daring. They were daring because they were told that if they was not allowed to come together. But they were daring. They did go. So they dared to be a Daniel. They were daring. And the thing about it is that it didn't even look like they run them out the square. All they did was take their placards. So obviously, I guess something on the placards was offensive. Was it? Because the police took over the placards, them. Was there something offensive on the placard?
Well, I'm not from any of that I saw.
So
Yeah,
what was
that's
the
information.
taking away the placards
Offensive
and
to
leaving
me
the
is
people?
different to offensive to somebody else, eh? So I can't say what people can take offense to.
So you think they took away because of the misinformation
I
you're
would think
talking about?
anybody,
No.
I'll give the people some advice. Since that they'll take your placards away, I advise you next time put your words on your shirt. What I gonna do, strip you? Put it on your shirt. Or you don't even walk around basket. Somebody will get the message. And I don't care what political party you're back. Your opinion and the way you feel shouldn't have nothing to do with your political affiliation. If you feel your right is being victimized, you should stand up for what you believe in. Again, dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose, and dare to make it known. Have a blessed day, guys.
Morning. Thank
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah. See, another thing that rubbed me the wrong way with this, right? It isn't even the fact that there was a demonstration and the police handled it how they handled it. Time and time again, right? We come in here and we talk about news sources and we talk about people with credible information and the fact that they're supposed to be distributing information to the country in a way that everybody can palate it, right? No, I know there's a lot of pages that are propaganda pages because that's just what they are. But if you are supposed to be a credible news source and you're advertising as such, why do you come off as such a petty person? Well, a petty page. Why do you come off as such a page that makes your position on certain topics very clear?
Your biases.
Like, you don't even try to hide them. You can't even try to hide them. Like, you know this isn't doing what you think it's supposed to be doing, right? Like, this isn't making the people who you're supposed to try to make look better. Like, you're actually making them look worse every time you post. I feel like you should stop posting. Like, certain things I don't think you should be able to post. If you are indeed a credible news source. If your page is supposed to be that page where it gives information. Like, if people...
This is the same page that posted up an article highlighting the best places to have outdoor sex, including Springfield Cemetery.
Me no know.
Is the same place?
Same place.
People
What you
still-
always be
people-
doing?
people still go there?
Yes,
'Cause
unfortunately.
that was a lot.
But that was the last straw for you. We had a lot. You had a lot of straws.
No, I hardly saw any of the other straws. That straw was sent to me, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Like, bruh.
Like I was pretty much just over it.
Seriously. do better. Do better.
I have no intention to buy. That's just that bad. We have another caller, guys. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. What's up?
All right.
I guess nothing. Okay.
Yeah, guys, feel free to call in. You know, let us know how you feel because y'all were very passionate about these things. So don't hide them. Don't hide them now.
But I was actually last. I didn't know about the hype with the
Basti High?
with the busing. Enlighten me.
So, some pictures came out yesterday of the Prime Minister and some other people, and one being the president of the bus association for the St. Peter's line. How many bus associations we
I
have?
didn't even know they had a bus association.
I didn't
for St.
even know
Peter's.
either.
But okay, go ahead.
And one of the pictures was them at the Bastille High, the old Bastille High School grounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person called to clear it up, and they said that they suggested that they should be able to use the Bastille High School grounds to build the bus terminal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you know why people had to issue this? Like, guess why?
Why?
No, guess. You're going to guess and ask me? No, you have to guess. Y'all guess. Throw some answers out there. Let me see who's closest.
Because we closed down the Bastille High School.
That would be best, my guess.
And build a whole new high school. And now we want to use the exact same condemned place for something else.
Oh, you was listening, no?
No, but
No, that's just the general.
But no, but this is look here. Let me tell you something, right? The amount of things that the Bastille High grounds gonna be used for
Bye.
is there's no
The
the list is you can't exhaust the number of things that's been suggested
you're
up
not
there.
going to school, bye.
And I have to anyway. I don't talk about that.
I understand why people were upset. You know why? Because if you tell me something condemn for human existence, you can't use it for human existence.
No, but that's not true. That's not true.
But that's not why they say condemn. They say that you can't use it because there is contaminated and it's unhealthy.
Right. So so in other words, then, if you're saying that it's contaminated, then clean it. And that has been my position all the time. Like,
But I thought it was a problem that you can't fix. That's why the school ain't going back there.
But no. The issue has been that has been the question all along. Is it that this place can be used or the place can't be used? If it can be used, why the school ain't going back there? After we do what we got to do so that we could use it.
And it can't be used. And if it can't be used, why are we trying to find uses for it?
But again, this is when they say, "Oh, you're going to be in your parking lot for tongue." Oh, okay. Oh, why they don't put government offices up there? Okay. Well, the same conversations come up every single time a new use is suggested.
Yep.
The amount of things up there should be the new. Up there should be the new what do they call it? The new creative arts center. Up there should be the they need to extend Warner Park so that we could do indoor basketball and indoor volleyball and indoor games and the amount of things.
Fire.
The amount of things. My thing, the first thing that need to happen is what need to do for it to be used again. What does that process look like? That process can't look like put up a stand. You understand? That process can't look like put up some blocks and a roundabout. It can't be. Not at this point. And then the question that people keep asking is, well, if it can be used, why not use it? No, there may be an answer for that,
Who got the answer?
That's what I'm saying. People been asking.
Just tell us. This is a
Yeah, there's no answer. That's the truth.
Well.
That's the truth. There's no answer. Good morning, caller 11 LNT. What's up? Hey.
Yes, it's me again. No,
Welcome
I was
back.
thinking the same thing what you were saying. Can the land be cleaned up? Because remember, land is limited. I mean, land is something is very limited, especially in Bastille. So why not test the soil and have it properly cleaned up and use it for building something of worth, not just a parking lot, not when land is so limited. I mean, all land can be cleaned up. I
that's
can't see why it cannot be cleaned up.
That ain't true.
Because, I mean, come on, up here in America,
Have you heard of
land gets
Chernobyl?
cleaned up everywhere. So maybe that's the question we need to ask. Can the land be clean? Can a professional tell them if the land can be cleaned and used for something of worth? That's what we should be asking them.
All right, okay.
Have a good day again, my friend.
All right, take care. We have another caller, guys. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island Tea. What's up?
Hey, good morning. Good morning to all of the tea drinkers.
Hey.
And good morning to the listeners at home and abroad. Now, I listened to the discussion yesterday on another radio station where the president of the St. Peter's Bus Association said it was he who took the idea to the Prime Minister. And I think he said he got some agreement. Now, we have some circular arguments. You now have the people who were saying it was clean, and that Unity lie. Now declaring the ground contaminated.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there? Is something clean or dirty based on your political affiliation? That's what I want to know. All right then.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Indeed.
No, what I'm saying, I just think, again, it's just the same things over and over and over again. Like the same things over and over again. But the ground there is going to be used for something eventually, right? Eventually. Like, there are tons of good uses, things that are necessary and needed, right? Tons of things, right? That can go there, right? How do we get there? And how do we make the best use of it? Right?
That's a lot of land.
I mean,
Where we gonna put this? I want to know before we start building on all kind of things. What happened to the school?
My thing is,
What
and
to the
it's
kids?
everybody's thing. My thing is, and everybody's thing is, and Azem said it already. Why are we making plans for what a place can be? Because it can't be a school, because ground's contaminated. If it's contaminated for a school, it's contaminated for everything else. Why are we making plans for it? If there is no, if the grounds are usable for other things, it's usable for a school. So what exactly is the reason here? And I think that's the giant question, which most people have answered. But think about it. If this thing doesn't make sense to you, it's because it doesn't. You cannot use grounds for something else if it's condemned. If there are plans being made for that space, the grounds are fine.
That's my thing. Like,
that's the whole point.
you tell us it can't be used for a school. It's this and it's that. So they don't
Let's
make
put
it
up some
for
offices, let's
everything
put up
else.
some
No,
basketball.
like you have to. I feel like that's a problem we have here. We do not focus on things that we need to focus on, which are most important. You asked me this morning, what would I have focused on if I was
Prime Minister.
Okay, I said the hospital because Lord knows. Then giving back the people at school, like I thought education is important. What happened to the people
And I tell
of
you,
education?
This is when I lost faith. I lost faith in a lot of people around this topic. And I believe this topic was one of the things that really affected, what was it, the 2015 election? Because there are some things that should supersede politics, including healthcare, education, and children. This Bassey situation included all three of them. And it was so politicized.
Everything is.
It was so politicized. And to be honest, I really just, I felt very sad by the fact that by how that whole thing was handled by everybody. It was ridiculous.
And the thing is, for me, right, with politicizing it, y'all forget about the most important thing, which is the kids. Like, these kids are the ones who suffered because of this, you know. Not adults who done with school making noise on the road about Bastille. Like, the kids are who were disenfranchised, the kids, like the people who we're supposed to care about, those are who was affected most. But we saw caught up in politics and which side said this and like, come on, when we gonna stop this? Like y'all realize every time y'all politicize something, y'all lose the core value, you lose the important message in it. We politicized this whole corona pandemic. We politicized Bastille High. Every time we politicize something, we lose the message. And that is why people don't pay attention to it in the way that they're supposed to, because everything is shrouded in politics. And we don't realize that is failing us.
That's what this call. My Jade, cool down. Morning, caller, live on LNT. What's up? I had a person there said, continue, Jade. I have another caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
If I was dying now with the dead.
Well, I
That's
mean,
unfortunate.
that's pretty much how it goes.
Because see what happened, right? Every time you see to answer the phone, that's when the guy on the phone tell me that you ain't want to answer me.
Lord, he should stop doing that.
Anyway, good morning. I've been listening about 5 minutes after you guys started. And a whole heap of things been coming into my mind to ask. And the last one will come in my mind is the people who live upstream, who bathe in the water. You think they worry about the people who live downstream has to drink it?
Nope.
Okay. That's what's happening in the world today. You guys being self-employed from listening, some of you, because you got your little... The people who get in a monthly salary, they ain't worrying about the people who now work. And that's what's going on basically in St. Kitts today. The guys, listen, since this thing hit the country, all them man who oppressing, depressing, and wherever you want to call it to the people of St. Kitts, the money ain't cut. They ain't gone home for that. Instead of that, some of them get increased. And the people yesterday, imagine, some of them, like I hear one fellow calling sometime last week or a week before, to say that he was out of work for a very long time and he just get a job. But the formula for getting the money, if you got money going on at Social Security, nothing for you. So if me home for a whole month and a fellow call me and give me a day job and he gonna do a deduction and put down Social Security, me ain't sure I got a job next week. So when you really look at it, as you say, it's I almost put it now, is a lot of different problems the people have. So basically, they could have just, as you say, they took the placards. Now the placards have on the message, so the message going back. So the people say, well, okay, this one offended me, because I understand there was a Bible scripture how people trying to gather, and then so that gonna be personal. Who received the message, they gonna say, oh, that talk about me, so that one gonna be personal. But there's another fellow now who not got nothing to eat. That one will be taken into consideration. So listen, all over the world having, and we are part of the world. And how the politicians them to look at petitions that we are not part of the entire world. So what goes on out there won't affect us here. But it's affecting everybody. It's a lot of people ain't want to say nothing and won't say nothing. But they're dying in silence. And that's the problem. It's like some of the people in St. Kitts who is talking, they ain't really talking for themselves, you know. They're talking for the people who are afraid to talk and who won't talk. But they're dying. It's like one guy would say, the cow that make the most noise, that doesn't the one who really want the water, you know. The one who want the water can't cry because he ain't got the strength too. And it's a serious thing going on around here, and the people in the authorities basically got to look into it, because at the end of the day, conscience, I don't know if they have. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll continue listening off here.
Yes, sir. Big up yourself, General.
Well, we have an issue. How do we solve it? I think that should be the first thing.
No.
No? So what should be the first thing?
Identifying what the issues are.
Oh, dear. And then we have an issue. How do we solve it?
Identifying what the issues are. The problem is we can't even come to grips with the fact with what the issues are.
Because I think there's a lot of issues. It's
No. What I'm saying is, somebody, for me, right, a lot of these things that coming out of the pandemic has to do with the fact that there's a pandemic, right? And so the issues that people bring up are symptoms of the pandemic. So to me, if you want to deal with this, if you want to deal with the symptoms, the best thing would be to treat the underlying condition. But a lot of the ways we are trying to move with this thing and the suggestions that are being made, and it's not about dealing with this underlying condition. It's about I can't eat, which is true. I haven't worked in a year, which is true. Right? But how do we stop the propagation of the virus?
Big question.
How people don't want to deal with that reality. So what we do, we just continually putting on this plaster on a gunshot wound. And then one day in where you get infected.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, some of these issues were before the pandemic. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You are right. And it is time to take a break. So, guys. Usa indeed.
Drink some tea, yo. Drink some tea.
Yeah, gear up. I know y'all not done. So before y'all call for the second half, just, go grab your tea. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back with more LNT right here on WINNMedia SCAN. Stay tuned.
Yay.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Here are your Hustlers Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag Special.
Running July 29 to August 11.
Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauces, $5.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Cereals, $7.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Roasted Peanuts, $9.99. Juicy Juice 100% Box Juices, 8-pack, $9.99. Silk Almond Milk, $15.99. Tide detergent, 46 ounces or pods, $24.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Essential Everyday Mayonnaise, $9.99. Sunny Delight Tangy and Smooth, $4.99. Irish Spring Bath Soap, 3 packs, $8.99. The Crest Toothpaste, $9.99. Essential Everyday Quick and Old Fashioned Oats, $5.99. Malt-to-meal bag cereals, $11.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Joan, en español.
Sean listos y hagan sus compras aquí a
Value Mart.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwyneth, Gwenisha, Gwyneth Paltrow, Idita Johnson. Crass and crude.
I'm mad that you're putting my real middle name on the air, but it's okay.
Nobody would know that if you didn't say it.
But nobody know which one it is.
That's what they understand.
I think Gwyneth is my middle name for you.
But you just told them know which one it is.
No.
Yeah.
Just
said Gwyneth as well.
Jamie, just add one. I know
lot.
you're saying that We put your middle name on it.
Move on.
I wonder which one it is.
Move on.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I feel like we've been neglecting the comments on the live. So let's just read a few of them. Somebody says they are psychologically traumatized. What happened to the?
We're going to Kevon system audio.
Wait, let's take this call. Wait, I forgot what happened.
Good morning, caller 11 Island T. What's up?
Yeah, greetings, Island T. Everybody had the bush tea already?
Yeah, man. Early morning.
Great. I sipping some, you know. Okay. Question asked before the break. How do we stop the propagation of this virus? See me? Which you cite as the core of everything. All right. 6832 square miles. Fertile land. See?
Right.
I must say lands. Because it's two places. The solution that is offered right now is the main solution is the vaccine. All right. Everyone is not for it. So therefore, why don't we try to implement something that suits everyone, which is opening up the immune system, taking on agriculture and carrying it to the pinnacle. And we eat and drink how we ought so that our bodies can be as it ought. Me hear some foolish talking about natural immunity. It's impossible. You have to inject some virus inside of you to get immunity. Foolishness. God, don't make the mistake. The human being is the most superb of all creation. Created excellently. So when we doubt that, foolishness that, so all we have to do is up agriculture. Up it up to its health. Pinnacle. And have things to put inside of the goodie that make it be as it ought to be, so that no virus can penetrate we. But we're not doing that. We're going the other way. And it can't work. It cannot work. Blessed love.
Blessings, truth. Blessings. The man say, build up our immune system, you know what the man say?
And that's one thing that I realized was missing from a lot of these conversations, the fact that we need to implement some more, healthy options, healthy things into our life.
Every now and again, the same more for sure had been popping up that day. Every now and again, she would add that into things like vitamin C, eat properly, drink water, boom boom bang, all that kind of energy there. It's something that we've been saying here from the start too. And I don't say it as much now, but every time I hear non-pharmaceutical protocols, I think you need to include and build up your immune system. The problem is people don't want to deal with those things. For instance,
people don't want to deal with nothing as far as I see,
But put it this way. Let's say the government decides, right, that they stop importing things with artificial sugar in it. Okay, so you see.
You want the country shut down?
So you see a reaction now.
You want the country shut down?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
That's half the country intake.
So what's the point? What's the point?
What's
the point?
You're doing too much now, man. Lord, man.
So why? So the government gonna be there pushing, eat healthy, and then allowing all these unhealthy things to come in, what people can obviously eat.
Personal choice.
And so that's the thing. So what it is about just encouraging. Let's just encourage, but we encouraging the opposite. You know, so I'm coming from we put it out there. The people who are at this point just walking out by, I don't care about them things. There's people who gonna watch all the documentaries on how bad certain foods be. There are people who gonna find out all the ways that things that mash up their body and all that, and they're gonna still go do it. Because it tastes good.
Yeah, man.
Because it satisfies something in my brain. All these endorphins and other receptors in your brain, like, oh, I like that.
We literally said yesterday swine might wipe us out soon, and we was like, oh well. If it's swine, it's swine.
If it's swine, it's swine. Yeah, but understand, that's the truth. It is important for us to live healthy, but I look around. Just look around. Healthy habits. Healthy habits ain't something that people seem to be willing to implement.
At all.
And not only that, everybody have a different definition of what's healthy.
Yeah, and on top of that, we also have to factor in the way that, being healthy is not really encouraging, because the cost of being healthy is worse than being.
Oh boy.
Don't bother talk about the cost of the government itself. We talked about that here with Isolene. The cost the government has to pay based on all these people having these non-communicable diseases. Just based on lifestyle. You sit in your office all day, you go home, and you go straight to sleep. No. Bro, and it's difficult. Let me tell you something. It's difficult. I work with guys. Right? Do construction, right? And I understand the position they're in when they ask me to drop them to the supermarket at lunchtime, and they walk in and come up with an Oreo and a cola champagne sparkle. That's lunch. But understand, they ain't getting paid money to go across there and buy no veggie burger. They ain't got the money for that.
That's another issue. I feel like we're not bringing up issues, Lord.
So I understand.
We're doomed.
I understand.
We're doomed. We're doomed.
You could buy water. This is how funny it is. You could buy a bottle, right, filled with water, sugar, and purple. For less money.
That's what it's called. It's called purple, Jade.
For less money than an actual bottle of water the exact same size.
True. It's wild.
Being healthy is expensive, and
very expensive.
But it shouldn't be.
It definitely shouldn't be.
At all.
That's
because
one thing that shouldn't be.
The amount of energy and effort it puts into creating these unhealthy foods, I think the unhealthy food should be the most expensive thing. Not Babsy's. But
everybody else.
Everybody else. I think the fast food options need to be the ones that cost a lot, not the healthy things. You're charging me for the things that just grow.
Bro, fruits and vegetables just to buy them.
Let me tell you something, right?
Oh my gosh, man.
So, for instance, there's been suggestions made, right, that the taxes on foods that are high in sodium, high in sugar, are higher than those that are healthier choices, right? And so that would be reflected at the supermarkets. That's one. Also, how does the stimulus that the government is giving to the farmers affect prices at the market? You see what I'm saying? So if they're telling me that they earmarked $15 million to help farmers, right? The farmers don't have to pay for the water on the farm for the foreseeable future, right? But it seems as though prices and everything going up, both local and overseas.
Oh, don't talk about that.
Everything going up.
I've seen people complain many times how 1 week they buy something for one price, and then the next week they go back buy the same exact product. It costs a totally different price.
And the pricing thing is a mystic situation, you know. A mystic situation, and we got to really, and there's a lot of different variables. The fact that black people, we want to buy local, black people won't work together. Black people won't come together and buy in bulk.
No.
You think the Chinese them ain't doing it? The Indians them doing it? One container coming in and all of that.
Regular.
They're buying from one person. One person. You understand? They're getting subsidized by the government where they come from.
And ours.
And ours.
And ours. Don't forget.
You understand? We just wouldn't work together. We won't make sacrifice as local people. Actually, a farmer tell me he sold a Chinese supermarket some produce, right? Mm-hmm. And went back India the day after. his produce is on the shelves cheaper than they bought it for him from, and he's asking himself, how is that possible? How can they sell it cheaper than I sold it to them for? And I'm telling him, I said, bro, they have some things in here. So yeah, they might use 5 cents on every pound. They might lose 20 cents on every pound here. But you see them little stupid things where you're going to pick up as you're passing the thing, they're up by 300%.
Bye.
The price on them. So yeah, they might lose a 20% on the local produce that you sell them. But all them things that they're bringing in the container from overseas, that half of them fake anyway. The markup on them, they're so ridiculous. They could afford to lose on your potato or your tomato.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
We got local businesses here that
I wonder how we
that they're increasing the things them on the shelves by a factor of 10.
Which is
by a factor of 10. You could see it. It's like people. It's like they forget we got internet now. We got Google.
They forget we could find out.
Because that happens all the time. You go in the supermarket or you go somewhere and let's say a pack of Oreos. You see the pack of Oreos on the shelf and you see 25 EC for it. And you say, hey! You go online and you see a pack of Oreos costs $2 US. How we go from $2 US to 30 EC?
Bruh.
So this is the but we got
because my thing is too, I could order them same pack of Oreos, bring them through customs, and probably still in 30 US.
Exactly.
30
yeah, and of course there has to be some markup. You have a whole machine running and thing. But
over.
Yeah, we have a caller. Good morning, live on LNT. What's up? I think we lost our caller. Sorry, call back. We have another caller though. Caller, good morning, live on LNT. What's up?
Yes, good morning again. You see, the problem is that you see the Chinese and those other people, they don't mind. It's not about getting rich overnight. It's about a quick turnover. And they realize that turnover my dollar turnover fast. And when you bill your customer, you get your customer to come in because I don't decide I'm going down there because I know it's cheaper down there. But when it comes to black people, when we have business, we want to become millionaires overnight. We price you to death so we could get higher than you because it's all about the money. It's all about getting rich quick. The Chinese don't mind taking their time and creeping up that ladder. We don't want to run up the ladder. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. So I think so perhaps
wild.
So perhaps, and we're talking about a lot of different issues. But what I'm saying is, these are things that we're gonna have to really look at when we're talking about eating local. When we're talking about eating healthy. When we're talking about these are real concerns. A man working on an hourly wage. It's difficult for him to walk into the supermarket and buy the things that he's gonna need to live that lifestyle. It's difficult.
Not only that, like a mom working on minimum wage, working for minimum wage, who has multiple kids to feed. She can't go in and buy apples and bananas and all of these things because in 2 days these things done, and then she have the rest of the week to think about. So now she has to go in and buy ramens and spaghetti and meatball and macaroni because these things going last, but they're not the better options.
Instead of giving the kids some cut up apples and some healthy stuff, now she have to buy the cheaper option.
Nova can't
a bunch of Oreos and cookies and sugar packed drinks and.
Yeah, I think.
Look at the price of Chubby versus the price of like some apple juice, box juice.
Yeah, that's true. We have a caller. Caller, good morning, live on Island T. What's up?
Don't have that.
Let's try this caller. Caller, good morning, live on Island T. What's up?
Okay, well, y'all call back. Oh, we have another one. Okay.
Then they call the other line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up? Morning.
Okay, feel free to call back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like as you said, we have a lot of issues that we need to work on. And we need to prioritize them, not just keep saying, okay, well, this is another issue that we have to work on and come out and talk about it and then just sweep it away because, like, we don't talk about it. We're going to give it a little time. They're going to forget about it. We move on to our next thing. Like this, it's not solving problems.
See, some of this, we keep talking about it. Some of these problems cannot be solved in a term. And that's the problem. Some of these problems can be solved in 2 terms, and that's a problem. Right? Because of the way we operate, because of the way our departments and ministries operate, it's difficult for us to really find the solutions to these things, because some of these things is just changing culture, you know. You don't change culture in a term. You see what I'm saying? Some of these things is literally we have to change the way people think.
You think some of these things they want to change?
I think some of them, yes. I think some of them, yes. But some of them, because what happens is we're looking for a quick fix. What generally happens is all of the answers generally fall back to throw money at it. How much money we got to spend?
And politics.
Right?
Which politician got to talk about it?
Well, I mean, even that, I mean, yeah.
That's why I asked if you think some of these things want to change. Because the reason I ask is for real, right? Is because time and time again, right? And I talking since I small. Like, this has been the culture. The way that we politicize things, the way that politicians deal with things, the way that people who are aides and people around the politicians deal with things, they haven't changed. This is 29 years later, because I'm 29. So I'm only talking about the time I've been alive. I have not seen anything change when it comes to dealing with that. But every single time there's elections or all of these things, we talk about, oh, these things must change. You have to do better when we deal with this, because if we don't do better in this, then people ain't going to do better. I have not seen any better. So I do not feel like people want to change when it comes to this at all.
What do you mean? You said this exactly what I mean.
The way that we politicize everything. The way
politicizing
that,
things.
yeah,
okay.
the way that politicians handle different things. The way that.
But this is the thing, right? I keep telling people, like, if you throw a problem at an economist, he's going to give you an answer based in economics. If you throw a problem to a sociologist, he's going to give you an answer based in sociology, right? When we constantly look to politicians for answers, the answers are going to be based in politics.
But these ain't the people we elect to in the country.
And that what does that mean is my issue. What does run the country mean? You understand where I'm coming from? I think part of the problem is that we expect them to run the country.
Yeah. Without having any input. Like I feel like they're just supposed to do everything, and we either agree with it or don't agree with it and make noise, and that's it.
So, for instance, if we create a situation where, again, a lot of these, what we call ministries and departments, if these things are autonomous, have long-term goals, and the position that the ministers take are one, to represent the concerns of their constituents, first and foremost. What are the concerns of your constituents, the people who vote for you? Right? What is it that they need in terms of infrastructure, opportunities, etc.? What are the problems that they're facing? We got places in St. Kitts that for 30 years water is a problem.
30 years, you know. Literally every single year the same problem.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, so if we create a situation where these people are stewards, where these people are stewards of the visions, the visions that were put in place by experts in the field, people who have intimate knowledge of the local situation. I mean, talking about bringing some white man from England.
Please.
Right? People who have understanding of the culture, such and such and such. And that all this stuff might have been difficult to do 20 years ago, you know. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But again, we need to have long-term vision. So if we realize that's difficult, because by really and truly we don't have a lot of people who are here who fully understand, who have these. Okay, so what we need to do, guys, we need to build capacity. So we need to get guys who understand urban planning. We need to get guys who understand technology. We need to get guys who understand agriculture, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And build up these think tanks that could then develop the visions for how the countries are going to run. And politicians come in and they manage almost like a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
right? When CEOs change, the business them don't start over, you know. The business them don't start over.
Oh. Anyway,
Continue from where you left off.
This is the vision, this is the direction, these are the goals. Yes, the goals will take 25 years, the goals will take 30 years.
But it's still the goals.
This is the goals.
Still the goals, it didn't change.
Perhaps that is how we need to look at it. And
Perhaps.
so
Perhaps, friend.
and so we may be giving impossible mandates to the politicians themselves, and the politicians then use that. They then use that. You understand?
So we salt.
No, we insult.
Okay. Just make it sure.
Just kind of.
Just kind of salt.
I think according to Inoite, we're screwed.
We saltish. We are
Why not?
saltish.
Inoite, just call in and say that for me, please.
We're screwed. This is the last call until we go to a break. So.
Caller, good morning, live on LNT.
Yes, this is me again. Jade, I so agree with you with what you say about things not changing. And would you say it's the people's fault? Because, for example, let's start as we talk politics. When election time come around, you hear them quoting, if you're caught voting in the constituency where you don't belong, you would be charged such and such and such a fine, or you would be arrested, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever heard of anyone being prosecuted?
Not to my knowledge.
I'm going to answer my own question. No. And it's not that they don't know that people vote, because you hear them after the election, you hear a long list of name call-outs of people who voted where they don't belong, where they don't reside. But the problem is there is no consequences. The thing is that the politicians come and they tell the people what they think the people want to hear, and in the people ear it sounds good, but then afterwards there's no accountability. No one is holding their feet to the fire to live up to their promises. So they come and they make a bunch of false promises, and again, promises is a comfort to a fool. Make a bunch of false promises and people buy it. And the thing is, people believe in what they're saying. But after the election done, it's like, okay, we forget to make some promises, and the poor people just go along like, leave them alone. They're doing good. But you said you were going to do some stuff and you didn't do what you said you was going to do. So you see, that's the problem. That's why nothing is being done. That's why the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Because the people are not holding the politicians accountable for the promises that they make to the public when they are running. And what I realize with politicians is this: when they're out, they see everything. When they're out there, they see everything. Everything that's wrong, they see it. But when they point it out to the public, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And when they get in, hello, Lord, they put on donkey blinders. All of a sudden, that don't matter anymore. That do not matter anymore, because what now? I mean now, so you know, I can't bother with that anymore. So y'all people don't even see it. I don't see it anymore, so y'all better put on my donkey blinders also and don't see it. When we come back out, then we'll see it. Those are the problems with Caribbean politicians and the people. Hold the politicians accountable. Make them live up to their promises. Have a good day again, my friend.
Thank you. Well, I'll just say one thing before we go to the break. I feel like...
Jesus Christ is Lord?
Not that one. Not that one.
Okay.
Not that one. But you see how we always...
Come on, Facebook.
You see how we always talking about holding politicians accountable? When are we going to hold ourselves accountable? You realize we put these politicians in there all the time, every single time. We, the people who vote, put them there. So when are we going to hold ourselves accountable?
Jade, Kevon came in here a few weeks ago and had to encourage people to bathe.
Oh boy. Let's go to a break here because
If you can't hold yourself accountable to bathe, how do I expect you to be accountable in other aspects of your life?
And people were telling him, like, really? Bathe? Imagine
And I
that.
bet a lot of y'all happy I told some people to bathe.
It's a thing, Jade. It's a thing.
I realize. 'Cause it's always, it's like we just make decisions, cause a problem, and then we blame the problem we cause instead of blaming who caused the problem. We can't just, we've been doing this for years, literally for years. Every time we put in a party, oh, we do. They say they're going to do this and they do it. Every single, you know what? Let's go to a break.
Guys, we're going to be right back with more Island Tea right here with Media SK. And then when we come back, we're jumping into Eat Local with a friend. So stay tuned, stay locked. We'll be right back.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucasade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucasade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucasade or 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucasade, taste the energy.
I have a surprise for mosquito, roach, and flies. Pop makes all of them die. Don't bother with the long chat, Pop tell you why. Pop makes all of them die. To take care of my premises, I have to stand guard. Pop kill insects, small or large. When me use my yard, me no need no bodyguard. Pop takes care of roach in a house and yard. Surprise with mosquito, roach, and flies. Pop makes all of them die. Don't bother with the long chat, Pop tell you why. Get serious, get Pop.
Like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/ramsupermarket. Follow us on Twitter, www.twitter.com/ramsupermarket. And subscribe to us on YouTube, www.youtube.com/ramsupermarket.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem featuring Jade, Gwenny Gwen, Gwenisha, Gwyneth Johnson.